My father had this men's clothing business with a little factory in the back, and he had just bought an apartment building with 40 apartments and 4 stores as an investment. And my brother used to go and collect the rents there. So the year was 1933. Hitler became Vice Chancellor of Germany on January 30th, 1933. Interestingly, my daughter was born January 30th, many years later. And my brother started keeping a diary in German shorthand in Berlin in 1932. And he kept it until sometime in 1935 when we were living in the Bronx. And you can see from that diary that my brother immediately saw the threat. He was going on his bicycle, and this hammerwhack cab, it was a cab, hit him. So he was thrown to the ground, bleeding a little, but nothing terrible. But he said a circle gathered around him of people that he recognized, and they said, who cares that he got hurt, he's a Jew, that kind of thing. You hear those kind of comments. So that was an incident in which my family was involved. And then the second one, the thing that broke the camel's back, or the last straw, was that one day, bunch of guys, hoodlums, thugs, came into our store to rob the store. And my father recognized some of them. They had worked for us. And they were going to put there was a safe there, must have been a vault. And they were going to put my brother and my father in that vault because when my father had the business, used to be the Dresden, in Germany it was called the Dresdner, here it would be called the Dresden Bank. So that's why there was a vault there. So they were going to put my father and the brother in the vault. But meanwhile, when my brother saw what was happening, he ran to his office, which had a glass front, and he called the police. And through the glass front, he saw one of those guys trying to get into his office, but he didn't come in. So the police came. They chased away those thugs. And they said to my father, we came this time, Herr Pressman, but if something like this happens again, don't call us because you're Jews. My brother saw the writing on the wall, and he said to my father, we have to leave here. And my father had first gone to Germany in 1913 he came back to visit, so he lived in Germany over 20 years, my mother less time. And he was in business, he was established, he wouldn't hear of it. He said, Hitler will blow over and it'll be all right. Wouldn't hear of it. So my brother decided to go himself. He was at that time, he was born in 1914. So I guess he was 18, 19. So he wanted to go to London, but he couldn't get a visa to go to London. But we had cousins in Antwerp. And he was able to get a visa to go to Belgium, but just to visit for a few days. But he went to Belgium. And so he was writing to my parents, and my mother wrote to him and said, things are better here now, and come back, we need you in the business. And my brother wrote back and said that he read in the paper that Jews who left Germany, when they come back, the Nazis are waiting for them at the train station, and you don't see them anymore. But my brother said, if you order me to come back, I will come back. He was a very obedient son. So my parents said, yes, you are to come back. And then, and I never figured out what changed their minds. I didn't have the sense to ask my parents when they were alive. But my father sat down in a room with a small room with a few Nazis. He had already been sending money out of the country. So he had sent money out of the country, different countries, maybe also the United States, I would think. And he sat down in a room with the Nazis, and he gave them our business and that investment property that we had bought for a fraction of their value, and they said we could go.